So, um, in the song Divorce by Tammy Wynette, there's a part of the song where so the premise of the song, I don't know if you've heard it, is that she's getting a divorce, but I guess she doesn't want her kid to know. Like, honestly, if you're first of all, I mean, she's not asking me, but I think you should just tell your kid. I mean, he's 4 years old. That's how we start with. And she says, my little boy, he's 4 years old. He's quite a little man. Okay, so then maybe he can handle being told, I'm going to kill this bunny and you're going to be sad about it, but it's what has to happen. I just think, at 4, maybe you should, loosely kind of explain what a divorce is to your child. But the point of the story is not that. The point of the story is that there is one part that I think about a lot where she says he thinks Custody spells fun or play. That's the exact lyric. I'm going to kill this dog too. Everything is too valuable to me right now. At this low in the game, everything I can kill is worth my time to kill. But the thing is that, I don't know, at 4 years old, I think you should, okay, I'm not very good at telling, when kids should be hitting certain milestones, but, oh, Jesus Christ, fuck. Well, maybe we can outrun him. I just think by that age you should have a grasp on that the word fun, sound it out. A lot of kids can, I'm sure a 3-year-old can spell their name, right? A 3-year-old can spell their name. That's average, right? Preschool, you learn to spell your name in preschool. So you can't figure out that custody and fun have a different amount of letters. Maybe Tammy, okay. You know what? Tammy Wynette probably wasn't even writing about her actual child. It's probably, she probably didn't even get a divorce. It's probably a fictional story, so I guess it doesn't even matter. It doesn't matter whether or not. I mean, if it's not a real child, she can make it as stupid as she wants in the fiction. But it might not be stupid for a child to make that mistake, because I don't really know that much about child development. This is going to take a while. I don't know that much about child development, but every time I hear that song, and she says that he thinks custody means fun or play, Custody. That's 7 letters. Fun is 3. That's almost twice as many. I don't know. Just a discrepancy that I feel like it's important to point out maybe. But it's not. But I had to talk about something. Okay. There's so many colors in this game. I wish the world that we lived in was colors like this. Am I the right level for it? Yeah. Ooh, Buzz, I bet. Yes. Okay, Lemon Beetle, we can take you. Okay, I guess every enemy here is only going to give us 1 experience. Ooh. Just not going to go there. I wonder if this is just a regular canyon. Because, okay, so the thing is that, yeah, it's all beetles. Jeez. That's not fun because they don't drop weapons very often. A lot of times they're just inhabited by a single race. Oh, this is a dwarf canyon, this is an orc canyon, this is a human. I don't know if humans actually get, no, they do. Either way, this is the boring one. I'm not going to spend that much time here in this canyon. Mage armor that we can't use. Seagore. Do you guys know? You don't, but I'm gonna, okay. I don't have anything better to talk about. So there was this, blogger, and her name was Pete Seeker, but her name, that was just her like online handle. Her name was Alice. Well, everyone was like obsessed with, like, anytime she said anything, it's like people treated her like, because she was on like political, like leftist Tumblr. This is such an interesting thing for me to be talking about, by the way. And the thing is that everybody treated her word like law, like no matter what it was, and everybody was like weirdly obsessed with her. And then she turned out to be racist. I forget why I was talking. Oh, because this land is called Seagore, and I was thinking about Pete Seeger, that's what her blog was named after, is Pete Seeger. And so I had to tell you all, bit by bit, by the end, when we beat the game, which isn't possible, but we'll find a way. By the time I beat this game, you guys are gonna know so much about the problematic leftist icons of Tumblr's history. I will defend every woman I see until my last breath, and that's my promise. Even the green women. That's what Shrek was about. Kind of. I feel like I'm slightly, like, I mean, it's showing me that their names are blue, but I feel like I'm still slightly over-leveled for this place. But I guess it's easy experience, so I'll kill a couple more beetles. So, beetles, there's so many of them, is something that I've learned. And this is why I can't really get on board with, sorry for scratching my armpit when I have a face cam on, and sorry for drawing attention to it. I'm just sorry in general for a lot. But what was I saying about beetles? Oh yeah, this is why I can't fully get behind reincarnation, is because people always claim to remember their past lives, and they're like, oh, you can remember your past life with meditation, guided meditation and stuff. But then people do it, and they're always like, oh yeah, I worked under Shakespeare, and I did this important stuff, and I was like a ghostwriter for blah blah blah, and I did this and I did that, all this bullshit. And then a lot of people will be like, yeah, I was a mother wolf, and I lived in Alaska, and I was missing an eye, but my pack took care of me nonetheless. And then somebody else will be like, well, I was a peasant, but my life was really cool, and I had a peg leg. And, like, none of you were regular-ass people, first of all. Like, nobody's ever, but, like, yeah, I died in the 80s, but I was an architect's assistant, and my life was average. And nobody's ever, like, the thing is that if you look up the statistics, pause this video, go look up the statistics for, like, what percentage of living things are beetles, what percentage of things that have ever been alive. Let me turn this down. Just, like, there are more beetles than there are, I forget exactly how the statistic goes, but, like, there are more beetles than any amount of vertebrates combined. So it's like, if past lives were real, why don't we all have, like, these beetle memories? Like, if past lives had any basis in reality, all of us would have been a beetle, unless this is our first cycle through time, which everybody would have been a beetle at least once. Like, and nobody talks about being a beetle. No, it's always, like, a little bit interesting. And the fact of the matter is, like, nobody's always ever like, oh yeah, I was a beetle, I was a slime mold. Like, no. And so if people could be, like, a little more convincing, because I would like to believe it, and maybe it's bad of me to talk about not believing in, or, like, discrediting people's beliefs or whatever. Like, maybe I'm being problematic, but I'm just saying people could stand to be, like, a little more convincing in their, like, when they're retelling their past lives. Like, you can't all be rich aristocrats. Do you know how hard it was for me to not just say Aristocats right there? Which I've never even seen, but I know if I watched it, that orange, like, whatever, like, cat that has, like, butch lesbian swag. Do you know the cat I'm talking about? And he has, like, a nice voice, and he says some shit, like, oh, he says everybody wants to be a cat. I think the lemon tart actually tames a lemon beetle, so as long as I didn't kill them all in this canyon, next one we see, I can tame. Oh, I'll miss my dog, though. What was I talking about? The Aristocats? Yeah, the orange one that says everybody wants to be a cat. I only know about that because my parents used to drop me and my sister off at this little daycare service when they would go to the gym, and it was like attached to the gym. But the only thing I ever remember watching was this Disney sing-along DVD, or maybe it was even a VHS. I think it was actually a VHS, and it was all like old Disney movies. Like the most recent one I can remember is being on there is Hercules, and it was just all these like songs, but from like old Disney movies. Can you not? Stop. I know I said I would defend all women, but these women had it coming. And so, anyways, let me craft some more bullshit while I'm here too. That's the only thing I know about Aristocats is that song because it was on there. Can you? Eat this. Yeah. Okay, go Beatles. Now they're mad, even though they have the hearts, they want to kill me because, yeah. Anyways, and it was all of these songs that are burned deep into my memory now, like the racist Lady and the Tramp song. And sometimes to this day it gets stuck in my head and I'm transported back to that preschool, whatever. And I have pictures of the inside of that preschool or that daycare on my DSi. And I remember the woman who was in charge some of the days was named Margaret, and my parents had to talk to her because she gave my snacks away to other children. Like, we brought snacks in, like, little bags or whatever because, God forbid, we go 2 hours without a snacky snack. And Margaret was giving our snacks away. Do you guys remember those yogurt-covered little whatevers, Yogos? She would give away my Yogos. And so my parents had to have a talk with her. And she was always singing to herself. She was always singing We All Live in a Yellow Submarine. And I was like, I didn't know that song. So I was like, what is this bullshit she's singing to us every day? And then later in life, I found out it was from the Beatles. And I'm like, ooh, it would have been, I would have been happier just believing that she had made that up. I know it's like a meme to not like the Beatles, but I've never liked the Beatles because I learned about them when I was like sick with a fever, and I don't know, at the time I just remember because everybody talks about the Beatles are famous, and I knew the Beatles were famous, and then I found out that they were just writing songs, and I don't know, I was in Michigan when I found out who the Beatles were, and I just remember it being a moment of like dread, and I can't quite place why, but I guess it was just because I had gone so long just with them as this abstract like pinnacle of fame, but I didn't know what was going on with them or who they were, and it was just, I guess my expectations weren't for like living up to such a famous name, they weren't met. I was like, that was when I first became disillusioned with reality. I bet you're wondering why I've been quiet for a little bit. I thought it would be fun if I did a little segment where I did a rap song. So I was trying to think of something that rhymed with snout beetle. And I was thinking about Weedle, the Pokemon. But I couldn't think of a way to work him in. Like we're already playing a video game, and like snout beetle is already something from a video game, and I didn't want to like be too heavy-handed on the gamer lingo. And so I was thinking maybe I could rhyme beetle with Weedle again, but this time like using the words weed will, like weed, like marijuana, will, but like as a contraction, like weed'll make you high. But I couldn't think of a way to really work that into a song about the Beatles in this game, so I just didn't say anything at all. And maybe that's how I should have kept it. But it's too late. I could say dreidel, which is like a Jewish toy or something. That was probably really offensive because I'm sure it's more complex than a toy. I'm sure it has some significance. And I think it's pronounced dreidel as well. So I'm sorry, my thousands of Jewish fans that are watching. I do love the way the Beatles look in this game. And what's nice is I'm using my dog because I just like him, and I feel like Reggie would have a dog over a beetle, like my little character would. But if I was further in the game, I would be using the beetle because some of the mobs are rideable, and beetles, all the types of beetles you can ride. But every time you level up, you get 2 points, and you have to put them into these skills, which you can't even see because now that I'm thinking about it, the face cam is gonna cover it. But I'll just briefly explain. You get 2 points every time, and after you've put 5 points into your pet's health, you unlock the ability to ride them, and then every point you put into that makes them faster. So it's useful, but at this point in the game, it's way more useful to just put your points into unlocking, like, the attacks. Because eventually you can level up your climbing to the point that you unlock, you level up climbing, you unlock hang gliding, you can level up swimming until you unlock sailing. But that's more late game stuff. Later game, anyway. So the canyon wasn't that exciting, actually. We spawned in kind of close to the edge of the continent, so I guess we'll just go to a new continent. The thing is, though, is that, like, a desert, if we get another green area, like a plains biome, I think it is, plains and forest, which is what we're in now, that's fine. Or a snow should be okay, but even the snow, and for sure the desert, and absolutely the jungle, they're intended for, like, at least level 5 and up. So if we get to the edge and it's one of those, I'll just turn around. I probably should have done anything to measure how long I've been playing for. I guess I can exit out and check, but because I really truly have no idea if it's been probably somewhere between 10 minutes and 10 minutes and 25 maybe, but it might be less or more than that. I really wouldn't know. So I do wish I would have thought ahead, but I rarely do so. Another moment that kind of filled me with dread is when the realization I came to a couple probably a couple years ago, where I realized that VeggieTales was religious, because none of that in my head, I didn't ever think about, like, the fact that the stories were from the Bible or anything, and I blocked out the part of it where they were like, let's say a prayer. So for me, it was like, oh, the silly songs with Larry where he would sing about, like, water buffaloes and the pirates that don't do anything. Those were the main things that stuck out in my head. And it was a couple years ago when reality set in that I was like, this was Christian programming. Like, and I don't know why, but that was so upsetting to me when that, like, sunk in. Like, I don't know. Because I do definitely remember the Jonah movie, so I don't know why it came as a shock to me. Like, that's clearly a Bible story. But I don't know. I was very shocked and upset when I came to that realization. Well, it's not even that I came to that realization, because it's like, it was never like something that I explicitly didn't know, but just that I was like, when I really sat and thought about the fact that, like, that was like, being raised Christian is the reason I've seen VeggieTales. Like, yeah. Did I just get armor that's for me? No, it's for warriors. Fuck. I can't put either of these two on yet, because I'm not a high enough level, so I'm stuck with my shitty little fists. I'm kind of getting off track. I like to stay on the grid. See, what I just tried to do there is, I'm used to playing on my, like, higher level characters, even though I just deleted them all for no fucking reason. Because I'm always like, let's have a clean slate, and then I just delete shit that I should have kept, and I do that a lot. But I tried to jump off and press the G button so I could just hang glide down, and I'm nowhere close to being able to hang glide. I feel like a god that has been cast down to live as a human, and I'm trying to use my god powers, but I'm literally a Jesus figure in this universe. Reggie lore. Oh, I shouldn't even come over here for 2 fucking mages. The thing is that mages are very overpowered, and, like, I could just play as one and instantly be better at the game. And see, that's not gonna work now, is it? You're not really... Food is for when you're outside of battle, but I forgot to equip my life potions. I didn't mean to eat that because I just wasted it. What was I talking about? Jesus? What the fuck? You guys all saw what that happened in real time, right? I say his name, and he's here. Oh, wait, do all the rocks look like that? No. Absolutely no, they don't. I didn't like that. You all wrecked my shit last time. Stop. So, I don't want any more religious coincidences in this video, if that's okay. Okay, well, apparently if I keep going exactly straight this way, we'll run into something, but I don't see it on the map. The mushrooms in this game are so cute. I wish mushrooms of this color existed in real life. We're about to wreck these alpacas. I hope my audio is okay, because it was like picking up on every little click and movement in my last one, so I turned the sensitivity like down significantly. So if you can't hear me at all, that's why. But if you can, hooray. No, Jesus has already graced us in this video. So I think if I'm giving him a promo, the least he's gonna do is make sure my audio is working. But I did press some buttons willy-nilly, so I don't know what that did. But I guess I'll find out. There's not even any way to tame a German Shepherd. They just put them in the game, and then they were like, you can't have them. And I don't even think they added one in the full game. They just kept them as, like, something that is unattainable, which was an interesting choice. Should be, like, right there. Should it not be? Interesting. I keep smelling, like, but I'm not really smelling it. I'm just imagining the smell of my grandpa and grandma's garage. And it smells like cigarettes and rubber, which I cannot explain to you, like, how it doesn't sound like it, but it's such a pleasant smell. And I'll never smell it again because both of them are dead. And therefore, well, my aunt owns their house still, but, stop, don't. Whatever. She doesn't smoke, so the cigarette smell is fading, and it'll never be as carcinogenic as it used to be, which is poetic, I guess. Sorry for trauma dumping. Yes. Trauma dumping allows you to attain new levels of being. Can you get the fuck out? Didn't I just... Where are your friends? Stop. I don't like brutalizing women on streams. This isn't a stream. This is a pre-recorded video. In my mind, I'm a streamer, and I'm doing my little streams. And I'm so famous that I don't even look at the chat anymore because it's going so fast I couldn't make out what it was saying even if I wanted to. My mods will alert me if anything of value is said. Let's see how loud I can crack my neck. Okay, it's not gonna crack. It was a fun game for a little bit, though. Nope, not gonna crack that way either. I wonder what level this castle is gonna be. Probably too high, considering we're level 3. Oh, let me put points in here. Points. Learn. Because I just want to get shurikens as fast as I can. Because I keep going to press it when I'm in combat, and I don't have it. I usually play as a rogue. And if I'm not playing as a rogue, I'm playing as a warrior, but I don't play as either the ranged. I'm not a ranged kind of guy. Those are going to be too high level. Oh. Guess let's just keep walking. Something I found interesting when I uploaded my last video of Cube World was the grand total of 14 maybe pixels that the universe decided to allot me to display my face. Oh jeez, maybe I shouldn't have. No, I'm gonna be fine. So, and I delayed making this video because I was going to do it, and then I got anxious, and so I went to the bathroom to start scratching at my face, like, furiously. And then I was like, well, now I can't record for another 15 minutes until my face is no longer pink. But you wouldn't have been able to tell anyway, because, again, the resolution is just absurdly bad. And I think we can take this lesson and apply it elsewhere, but I forget how. It's really funny because I was thinking about how in high school everybody like knew me as a communist, and I called myself a communist. But you know what I was? I would have gone out like, I liked Bernie Sanders, and I was like, now guys, I'm a communist. Basically, guys, a bird landed on his podium, and I am essentially an expert on theory now. and everyone was calling him like their grandpa and stuff, and had a weird parasocial relationship with him. And I had a parasexual relationship with him. Where, I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say, actually. I'm not sure if you're allowed to talk about sex on YouTube anymore. Guys, I can't get demonetized. This is all I have. It really is. I thought this... Oh, okay. I guess this cavern was worth going into. Okay, and I'll probably end it once I get back into the light. Even though I once again failed to say anything funny. Wait, I think I did say something funny, but I couldn't tell you what it is. There's a wolf there. Let's end the video by trying to take on the wolf. We're doing amazing. An underdog victory to end the video on a high note. Thank you so much for watching. I think I have to go eat deli meat out of the fridge now. But not the gross kind, like the good, nutritious turkey. So don't worry about me eating. You know I wouldn't be caught dead eating like a bologna. I have standards. That would kill me. Look at these beautiful flowers. Wow, everything in this game is so cute. I'm gonna kill someone. Are you kidding? It's a desert. Okay, well, I guess we'll turn back around. Or we can just go into the desert. I mean, everything will kill us, but yeah, like that. Well, I'll just end the video right here at the border, and next time I will decide whether or not I feel like staying in my lane. So, oh my god, it's gonna kill me. We'll just... Okay, well, thank you.